Have you ever stood too close to a fire, not just physically, but emotionally? There's a kind of warmth that only a rare few can give. The kind that ignites your spirit, encourages you to become better, and stands fiercely by your side. That fire, my friend, is Aries. But let me give you a warning wrapped in wisdom: if you misuse that fire, if you take it for granted, karma won't just knock, it'll burn the very ground beneath you. Today on the path to Buddhist wisdom, we dive into the spiritual and emotional force that is Aries. We'll explore why hurting an Aries is like disturbing the balance of the universe, and how karma responds not with rage, but with perfect, poetic justice. This is not just astrology. This is soul psychology. And if you're an Aries, or someone who's loved one, you'll feel every word in your bones. Stick with me to the end, because reason number 4 might just make you rethink every Aries relationship you've ever had. Sparkles emoji, comment your zodiac sign and how you've experienced karmic balance in relationships. Let's create a circle of truth in the comments. Bell emoji, subscribe for weekly spiritual insights based on wisdom, signs, and cosmic justice. Now, let's begin. Fire emoji, reason 20, they refuse to stay silent, and the universe takes note. Aries are ruled by Mars, the planet of action and war. That energy runs deep in their blood. They don't run from pain, they face it. So when someone betrays them, they don't sit quietly in the shadows. They speak. Or sometimes, worse, they don't. Let me tell you about my friend Mina, an Aries woman who loved like wildfire. Her friend group took her loyalty for granted. When she finally realized it, she didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just left. One day. Gone, without a word. But her absence echoed louder than any confrontation. Weeks later, each of those friends came back to say, "We didn't know how much you held us together." Karma had already done its job, silently. Dear lamp emoji, spiritual lesson: silence from an Aries isn't passive. It's sacred. It's a karmic bell ringing through the lives of those who wronged them. If you've hurt one and felt your life shift afterward, maybe that wasn't just bad luck. Maybe it was the universe answering a fire you tried to extinguish. Fire emoji, reason 19, they'll forget your words, but never the way you made them feel. Aries don't dwell on the exact words you said in the heat of an argument. They may not remember the date, the time, or even the context. But they will never forget how you made them feel. And that feeling lives on in their energy, etched into the space they once reserved for you. A student of mine, James, once said, "I thought she forgave me. She smiled, moved on. But months later, she unfollowed me, cut off contact, and never replied again." He didn't realize that Aries stores emotion like fire stores heat. Quiet on the surface, still burning inside. Dear lamp emoji, Buddhist parallel, karma is not punishment, it's cause and effect. You plant a seed of pain, and even if it takes time, it will bloom into a lesson. If you made an Aries feel invisible, unwanted, or unworthy, they'll never fight you. They'll just walk away. And then, karma will make you feel exactly what they once felt. Fire emoji, reason 18, their pride is louder than their patience. Here's the thing about Aries, they will try. They will offer forgiveness, second chances, and even a bit of patience. But once that line is crossed, their pride takes the wheel, and there's no turning back. This reminds me of Laney, an Aries man I once mentored. He was in love with someone who always needed more time. Never prioritized him. One day, he simply stopped showing up. No fight. No closure. No farewell text. I asked him why. he said. Because I finally remembered who I was. And that's the magic of Aries pride. It isn't arrogance, it's self-respect wrapped in fire. Dear lamp emoji, karmic insight, when you disrespect someone who knows their worth, the universe aligns to mirror that back to you. Loss of respect attracts more disrespect. Aries simply walk away first. So don't push them to that edge. Because when they leave, they're not coming back to pick up the pieces you dropped. Fire emoji, reason 17, they hate to lose, especially when they're right. You can't out-argue an Aries by overpowering them. You have to out-truth them. And that's nearly impossible. Aries fights for truth, not ego. And when they're hurt, they'll bring passion, facts, and fury to the battlefield of words. A former colleague of mine, Aries, yes, that was his real name, once spent 2 days crafting a speech to confront a partner who lied about something minor. The partner said, it wasn't a big deal. But for Aries, it was about integrity. He didn't fight to win. He fought to show that truth matters. Dear lamp emoji, karma connection, the fire of Aries is deeply aligned with cosmic balance. The universe supports the ones who fight from their heart, not their ego. Hurt an Aries and expect them to just get over it? You're mistaken. Their soul is wired for justice, and the karmic scales always tip back in their favor, even if it takes time. Person in lotus position emoji, reason 16, their reaction will be stronger than your offense. Aries doesn't play small. They don't forgive halfway. And they certainly don't forget halfway. When you hurt them, their reaction will feel like a storm, more intense than your initial offense. It's not because they're cruel. It's because they're built with fire in their veins. This reminds me of a situation with my dear friend, Evan, an Aries who had a colleague betray him at work. The colleague made a small mistake. But Evan, fueled by intense emotions, responded with such power that the entire office felt the aftershock. He didn't do it out of malice, though. He was just being his true self, unapologetically passionate. It wasn't just about the work issue. It was about disrespecting someone's effort. Dear lamp emoji, karmic insight, karma takes note when fire meets water. The universe balances the intensity of emotions. And Aries doesn't leave their fire unaccounted for. When you hurt an Aries, don't think your offense was small. Karma won't judge your actions lightly, it mirrors that intensity. And it ensures your emotional peace is shaken just like theirs was. Fire emoji, reason 15, they will cut you off without remorse. If there's one thing Aries is good at, it's protecting their energy. Once they realize they've been hurt, they cut ties completely. No drama. No hesitation. They don't play games with their loyalty. Let me tell you about a young Aries named Lydia. She had a close friend who constantly took advantage of her kindness. One day, Lydia realized her friend had crossed a major line. Without any further conversation, Lydia simply removed her from her life, completely. The friend was shocked. Of course. But for Lydia, this wasn't a punishment, it was a necessity for her peace. She didn't have to fight. She didn't have to yell. She just shut the door. And with that decision, karma echoed her choice. Dear lamp emoji, spiritual lesson, Aries' ability to detach teaches us a valuable lesson in boundaries. Protect your fire by guarding your space. When someone disrespects you, don't wait for an apology, leave the door closed. Karma doesn't allow the energy of betrayal to linger. When Aries cuts you off, you're left in the cold. And the universe ensures that you experience what it's like to lose someone who once gave their all. Fire emoji, reason 14, when disappointed, they turn cold instantly. This is one of the most chilling truths about Aries. When they're hurt, they become cold. It's like flipping a switch. The warmth, the energy, the passion, they suddenly disappear. And once that coldness sets in, there's no going back. I remember another Aries friend of mine, Trevor, who had a friend constantly let him down. Every time Trevor put in the effort, his friend didn't reciprocate. One day, after the last straw, Trevor completely disconnected, emotionally, mentally, and physically. His friend tried to apologize, but it was too late. The warmth of friendship was gone, replaced by frost. Trevor didn't even look back. Dear lamp emoji, karmic insight, coldness from Aries isn't punishment, it's a reset. The universe reflects that chill when someone who gave warmth is betrayed. When you hurt an Aries, they may never show their anger, but the instant they turn cold, karma mirrors that emotional freeze in unexpected ways. Fire emoji, reason 13, if you make them cry, you'll never see them the same again. Aries are not easily moved to tears. They are strong, passionate, and filled with an inner fire that resists vulnerability. But when they do cry, it's a big deal. The tears represent betrayal, deep hurt by someone they loved, trusted, and supported. And once that vulnerability is exposed, there's no going back. I once saw an Aries cry after a romantic partner broke their heart. It wasn't the first breakup, it was the betrayal of trust, the feeling of being used. And when the tears fell, everything changed. They didn't just cry, they closed off. The version of their partner that they once loved was gone. Dear lamp emoji, karmic insight, making an Aries cry isn't a small thing. It's a cosmic lesson in betrayal. And karma does not let that slide. When you hurt someone so deeply, karma creates a reflection of that pain in your own life. Once an Aries sheds tears for you, you've not just lost their trust, you've lost the warmth of their love. Karma will make sure you feel that loss in your own soul. Person in lotus position emoji, reason 12, they have zero tolerance for betrayal. Aries has a loyalty that's unmatched. But the moment you betray them, that loyalty evaporates. There's no forgiveness for betrayal in the world of an Aries. It's not about ego or pride, it's about sacred trust. Think about this, betrayal doesn't just break their heart. It shatters their world. And once trust is broken, it's gone for good. I had a close Aries friend named Jasper who poured everything into his friendships. He gave time, love, effort, he believed in loyalty. But when a close friend took advantage of that trust, something in Jasper changed. He didn't lash out. He didn't yell. He simply cut the person out of his life completely. The former friend begged for forgiveness, but Jasper's heart had already moved on. Karma, however, would not let the betrayer off easily. Dear lamp emoji, spiritual lesson, betrayal is not just a betrayal of trust, it's a cosmic disconnection. When you betray an Aries, karma ensures the universe reflects that energy. The more you betray someone's loyalty, the more you will experience betrayal in your own life. Karma doesn't just show up to punish. It shows up to teach, to balance the energy. Betray an Aries, and karma ensures that betrayal comes back tenfold in your life. Person in lotus position emoji, reason 11, they love intensely and hate even more intensely. When Aries loves, they love deeply. Their love isn't passive, it's all-consuming, fiery, and powerful. They will give you everything. But when that love is betrayed or abused, the flip side of that fire is just as intense. Aries doesn't do lukewarm. They are either all in or completely out. And when they are hurt, the love transforms into a fierce anger that is just as deep as the love they once felt for you. A fellow Aries friend of mine, Tara, once fell deeply in love with someone who broke her heart repeatedly. One day, she woke up and realized that the love she was giving was no longer being returned. That's when the love turned to rage. Her ex thought he could play the victim. But Tara wasn't angry for revenge. No. She was angry because she loved so fiercely, and now that love had become a force that could destroy. Dear lamp emoji, karmic insight: when an Aries loves you, they give you fire. But if you betray that love, karma makes you feel the consequences of that betrayal. The love becomes a lesson, and the anger becomes a cleansing. If you've ever hurt an Aries, karma ensures that the same intensity you once had from their love will be returned to you in the form of pain. And when an Aries hates, it isn't out of cruelty. It's because they once cared too deeply. Person in lotus position emoji, reason 10, they hate feeling vulnerable, and if you're the cause, they'll blame you. Aries is one of the most self-sufficient signs of the zodiac. They take pride in their strength, independence, and ability to navigate life on their own terms. They don't like being vulnerable, ever. But when they do let their guard down for someone they trust and that trust is shattered, Aries doesn't just hurt, they feel exposed. Imagine a moment where an Aries, full of fire, opens up emotionally. They've trusted someone enough to show their softer side. But then, betrayal strikes. That betrayal doesn't just hurt, it makes them feel weak. That's when Aries doesn't just walk away, they close off entirely. You'll never see the same Aries again. You'll never have the same space in their heart. Dear lamp emoji, spiritual lesson: to make an Aries feel vulnerable is to betray their very essence. The lesson karma teaches here is simple: never manipulate or control someone's vulnerability. For the universe will make you feel the exact pain you caused. Karma will ensure that once an Aries feels vulnerable, they rise again, but without you. And you'll feel the loss of their presence, their strength, and their loyalty, leaving you with the cold reminder of your actions. Person in lotus position emoji, reason 9, when they're angry, you can see the fire in their eyes. An Aries' anger is a force of nature. It's not something they express lightly. But when they do, it's impossible to ignore. The anger of an Aries is raw, unfiltered, and unpredictable. It's not about rage for the sake of rage, it's about truth. I once witnessed an Aries in a heated argument. Their anger wasn't just visible in their words, it was in their eyes. You could see the flames flickering in their gaze. What struck me wasn't just the intensity of the anger, it was the purpose behind it. Aries doesn't get angry over trivial things. They get angry when they feel disrespected or betrayed. And when they do, their fire burns fiercely, leaving everything in its wake. Dear lamp emoji, karmic insight: when you anger an Aries, karma doesn't just stay on the sidelines, it mirrors that intensity. The universe recognizes the fire of Aries and responds with equal force. Their anger may seem like a momentary outburst, but it's far more than that. It's the universe's way of balancing energy. Hurt an Aries, and karma will ensure you experience that anger in your own life, in ways you never imagined. Person in lotus position emoji, reason 8, if you make them feel stupid, they'll make you feel invisible. Aries are proud of their intelligence, strength, and capabilities. They don't just stand tall, they rise, they fight, and they lead. So when you try to make them feel small, inferior, or foolish, they don't just shrug it off, they remember. But here's the kicker: Aries won't fight you with words. Instead, they'll shut you out, and suddenly, you'll find yourself invisible in their world. You were once part of their circle, and now, you're nothing. I had a colleague, an Aries named David, who was always the life of the office. One day, a boss made a cutting remark about his performance, undermining his ability. David smiled, nodded, and walked away. No fight, no explanation, just silence. Months later, that same boss tried to reach out to David for advice on a project. But David ignored him completely, as if he had never existed. The silence wasn't coldness, it was power. And karma played its part in that moment. That boss lost respect, lost trust, and lost a valuable ally. Dear lamp emoji, karmic insight, the universe listens when Aries is disrespected. Karma makes you feel invisible when you try to belittle someone who shines brightly. And once an Aries erases you from their life, it's permanent. If you ever made an Aries feel small, karma will ensure you understand what it feels like to be dismissed. Aries don't forget those moments. And neither does the universe. Person in lotus position emoji, reason 7, they give everything until you fail them. When Aries commit, they go all in. They don't do things halfway. Whether in love, friendship, or work, they give their time, energy, and loyalty without hesitation. But the moment you failed them, that effort vanishes. I witnessed this with my friend Fiona, an Aries, who poured her heart into a relationship. She gave love, attention, and support without holding anything back. But when her partner didn't appreciate her efforts, Fiona cut all ties without any explanation. Her partner was left stunned. How could someone who gave so much just walk away? But what they didn't understand was this: Fiona didn't walk away out of anger. She walked away because her love was never valued. Dear lamp emoji, spiritual lesson, Aries doesn't give to receive, they give because that's how they love. But when that love is discarded, they move on. Karma ensures the person who failed to appreciate Aries feels that absence deeply. When you fail an Aries, you don't just lose a person, you lose loyalty, fire, and energy. And karma will ensure that you never find that kind of commitment again. Person in lotus position emoji, reason 6, they never forget what you said in anger. If you've ever spoken cruel words in the heat of an argument, beware. Aries don't forget those words. They don't just let harsh words slide. When they're hurt, they store those words deep within, like scars that never fade. I saw this with my friend Leo, who made an offhand remark to an Aries friend, criticizing her in front of others. The words were harsh, but they were spoken in anger, so he expected it to pass. But Aries never forgets. Years later, Leo apologized, but the damage was done. His friend couldn't look at him the same way. The respect he once had was gone, and no apology could fix it. Dear lamp emoji, karmic insight, words are powerful. They shape the energy around us. And the universe doesn't forget. Karma will make sure that those harsh words you spoke to an Aries come back to teach you the weight of your words. When you hurt an Aries with anger, you don't just wound them, you wound your own future. And karma makes sure you'll feel the sting of those words long after you've forgotten them. Person in lotus position emoji, reason 5, they can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. Aries is the ultimate ally, loyal, protective, and fiercely committed. But once you lose that loyalty, Aries becomes a formidable enemy. I once saw Aries and a friend of mine, Mark, team up to create a project. They worked together seamlessly, each contributing their best, making it a success. But when Mark betrayed Aries' trust, Aries didn't fight back with fury. No, they simply walked away. Months later, Mark realized what he lost. He couldn't find someone as passionate and driven as Aries. Aries, however, had moved on, and Mark was left facing the consequences of his actions. Dear lamp emoji, spiritual lesson, Aries loyalty is a gift. And once broken, it's a cosmic lesson. The universe honors those who stand by others. And karma ensures those who betray that loyalty feel the loss deeply. When you lose Aries as an ally, karma ensures you never find that level of loyalty again. That's a lesson no one can ignore. Person in lotus position emoji. Reason 4, if you challenge them, they only grow stronger. Trying to break an Aries is like trying to stop a wildfire with your hands. It only makes the flames burn stronger. A mentor of mine, Dan, once told me about an Aries colleague who faced constant opposition at work. The more they were challenged, the more they fought. Instead of backing down, the Aries pushed forward, using the pressure as fuel to propel themselves higher. The challenges made them unstoppable, and karma made sure the competitors who tried to break them only saw their own downfall. Dear lamp emoji. Karmic insight. Aries doesn't just survive challenges, they thrive on them. The universe rewards resilience, and karma ensures that those who try to break an Aries will eventually feel the force of their comeback. When you challenge Aries, you're not dimming their light, you're helping it shine brighter. And karma ensures that your challenge becomes their victory. Person in lotus position emoji. Reason 3, they don't need you to get back up. And they'll show you. One of the most powerful things about Aries is their independence. When life knocks them down, they don't wait for someone else to pick them up. They rise on their own, fueled by their own fire and strength. They don't need a hand to get back on their feet. The moment they realize they are better off without you, they don't hesitate to walk away, and they do it with grace. Take for example, a story about my friend, Leo, an Aries. He went through a devastating breakup that broke him emotionally. But within days, Leo started rebuilding himself. No phone calls asking for reconciliation. No pleading for validation. He took control of his life. That was the moment I saw Aries' true strength, their ability to rise alone. Dear lamp emoji. Spiritual insight. Aries' strength lies in their self-sufficiency. When you hurt them, they don't depend on anyone to heal. Karma ensures that those who believe Aries will crumble are left with a bitter lesson. Aries doesn't need you to rise, they rise on their own. And that power is unstoppable. When you hurt Aries, don't expect them to chase you, to beg for your forgiveness, or to come crawling back. Karma makes sure that they move forward, and you will be left watching as they soar without you. Person in lotus position emoji. Reason 2, they hate being controlled. And if you try, they'll shut down emotionally. Aries is a free spirit, and freedom is essential to their well-being. They don't like being controlled or manipulated, even in the most subtle ways. The moment you try to take their autonomy, you will feel the wrath of their independence. I remember when my sister, an Aries, was in a relationship where her partner constantly tried to manipulate her. The partner would make decisions for her, expecting her to comply without question. At first, Aries tried to make things work, but eventually, her emotional walls went up. She shut down, becoming emotionally distant. She stopped sharing her thoughts, stopped caring. The relationship ended quickly after that. But Aries didn't feel defeated. They felt free. Dear lamp emoji. Karmic insight. Trying to control an Aries is like trying to cage a lion. Karma will ensure that your attempt to dominate their spirit will be met with their emotional withdrawal. The universe rewards those who value their independence, and punishes those who try to clip their wings. If you hurt Aries by trying to control them, expect them to shut down emotionally. Once they do, karma makes sure you will feel the silence they leave behind, and the absence of the connection you took for granted. Person in lotus position emoji. Reason 1, when Aries walks away, they're gone for good. This is perhaps the most important lesson. Aries does not do take-backs. When they decide to leave, it is final. They don't linger in relationships that have been broken. They don't give you a second chance to redeem yourself. The moment they feel the relationship isn't worth the energy, they walk away, and they never look back. I saw this happen to my close friend, Adam, an Aries, when he realized his business partner had been dishonest. For months, Adam had been trying to make things work, even helping his partner with personal issues. But when Adam discovered his trust had been betrayed, he left without hesitation. He didn't explain. He didn't argue. He just walked away from everything, the business, the friendship, the past, and he never returned. Dear lamp emoji, spiritual insight, Aries' ability to walk away is a profound lesson in self-worth and peace. When someone like Aries leaves, karma ensures that you will feel the void. Karma doesn't forget when Aries are disrespected, it makes sure you feel the loss deeply when they leave. If you've ever had an Aries walk away from your life, you know that silence is louder than any words they could have said. Karma ensures that those left behind learn the value of what they once had. Person in lotus position emoji, closing remarks, why you should never hurt an Aries. In the journey of understanding Aries, we've learned that they are not just individuals, they are forces of nature. Their love is powerful, their loyalty unwavering, and their independence unshakable. But they also carry a fire that burns bright and unforgiving when they are hurt. If you've ever crossed an Aries, hurt them, or taken them for granted, you may already know what comes next. Karma doesn't forget the way you made them feel, and it makes sure that your actions come back to you, sometimes in ways you can't even predict. But here's the greatest truth, Aries teaches us to stand tall, to protect our hearts, and to value authentic connections. They are loyal until the end. But once you break their trust, their fire becomes a lesson that can only be understood when you feel the absence of their presence. Dear lamp emoji, final thought, the universe has a way of ensuring that what you give to others, you will receive. When you give love, honesty, and loyalty, karma ensures that you receive the same. But if you give betrayal or disrespect, karma has a way of mirroring that back to you, through the silence of Aries. As we close this video, remember this, Aries may forgive, but they don't forget. And once they walk away, they're gone for good. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the fiery world of Aries. If you've ever felt the sting of their silence or the intensity of their love, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And, as always, don't forget to subscribe to the Path to Buddhist Wisdom for more wisdom on astrology, karma, and the cosmic balance that shapes our lives.